At a certain point in relationships, if there is lies, betrayal, things like this going on, I would say around the 3-4 month mark, the masks always come off. If there is a mask, like the fake persona, it can be longer though. I don't know. Many people have many experiences. Could be 5 years, 10 years. But it's this feeling that you are interacting with someone who's like has a split personality. So there's like a false shell self. And I think they're actually very good at cloaking, like energetic cloaking. So I would say it's kind of like an artificial love that gets you high and can sustain you for a couple months, 10 years, 20 years. I don't know. In the longer cases, I don't really have that much experience, but it can sustain you and it gives you a high and it gives you the feeling like, oh my God, I really love this person more than anything in the world. This person's the one. You can think they're the one. But then the wake up process happens, say you catch them in a lie, you call them out on the way they're acting, and it's like a gradual descent. It's a gradual descent into this person's rage, taking their anger out on you, because that's the point at which the relationship starts to implode, starts to destruct, is that you see the person and that person knows that you know, and there's no hiding it. And that person might might deny till their dying day and never admit to anything, never admit to lying, manipulating. When you get that sort of weird feeling in your gut when you hang out with someone, it could be your significant other, whatever, you're dating someone, like this weird feeling in your gut, like 5 hours go by, you're on a love high, you're like, I love this person so much, I'm just la-di-da, I have this rose-colored glasses, we love each other so much. And then 5-6 hours later, the love feeling kind of goes away, and then you're like, wait, did she mean to say that? Like, was that meant to hurt me? Was that a passive-aggressive dig? Or did this person really want to meet me that day? Or were they using me for X, Y, Z? Oh, wait, no, but she couldn't have been doing that because that's not in her nature. Like, people don't do that. People don't just use people for, a free meal or whatever, or help and not really care. Or they don't like put people down in that mean kind of way. No, they wouldn't say a passive-aggressive remark like that. No, and you just get that weird queasy feeling in your gut, and you're always having this confusion. Like, who is this person? Is it the real person or the fake person? Are they trying to put me down? Are they playing a game? Are they lying? It's always this confusion, like your gut is twisting and turning, and you're constantly battling. You're constantly giving them the benefit of the doubt. And you might even have a situation where you call them out on a lie, and like you could be broken up of months and years and they still won't admit that they lied. Like, they'll never admit that they lied because they can never admit to that false self, because that false self, they have so much riding on that false self. And once you see through it, you are enemy number one. You are their primary enemy. You are their primary person that they just can't stand. And that's why even when you have repeated attempts to make it work, whatever, it will never work, because they know you see through them. They know, and they can't run their game on you. And that's why narcissism is such a weird, complicated concept, because I've had people come up to me and say, oh, you're being a victim. You're in victimhood. You're focusing on the negative. You're trying to drag people down, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, this is a revelation to me and to many, and I think it is valuable to share, because a lot of us don't know that those people actually exist. It's like a revelation about humankind, that those people exist, where you're in this sacred love bond, you're in this sacred love thing, and I think you just don't know. You don't know that that person can only have you as, like, the most you'll ever be is food for them, attention, energy. When you have that feeling, like, as the mask comes off gradually more and more and more, you have that feeling that you're kind of being eaten alive energetically. And you after a certain point, you can't even interact with the person without feeling like you're being compromised energetically, because if their whole existence, their whole energy is a lie, loving as they may be, deserving of a great life as they may be, childhood trauma as it may be, yes, okay, I understand that, horrible things that could have happened to them in their past, you still feel compromised every time you're around them. You feel like just siphoned and drained energetically. You feel like, it's like this nasty, nasty feeling in your gut that you can't put your finger on. It's because when you're interacting with someone who's lying, their whole game is lying, and once you know that game, like, the jig is up. And the mind fuck of it is that you could have tons of people around that person that never even knows a peep of it. They don't, oh, that person's so sweet. They're like the best. They're like, but they put so much time and energy into cultivating that persona. But behind it, it's like nothing. There's like nothing there. There's no substance. There's no like life force. And you feel bad. Like, you feel genuine empathy and pity because they're like stuck looping in a childhood trauma that they never decided to heal from. Whatever, with the parents, absentee parents, emotional abuse, whatever it is. But it's like, at some point, whatever trauma you've been through on planet Earth is not an excuse to treat people like shit. It's just not. And if you're on planet Earth, everyone has trauma. Varying degrees. Horrible, not so horrible, we all have trauma. Like, if you signed up to be in a body, it's your responsibility to heal your trauma, whatever it is. It's not an excuse to treat people like shit, to lie, to manipulate. So it's like a childishness, because it's almost like you can't be mad at them, because it's like a child that doesn't want to learn from their mistakes, a child that wants to keep pouting, keep throwing a temper tantrum. But to sum up, that feeling of being like energetically compromised, like it's this nasty, twisty, turny feeling in your gut where you just feel, oh, it's not even about the individual lies, the individual tit for tat, or you died about this and you did that and we're going to correct this behavior. It's their whole, it's literally the only orientation they have towards reality is lying, is running a game. And once you run that false self, they don't have anything else. They don't have a plan B. So even I debate with myself, oh, am I focusing on the negative? I'm being a victim. It's like, no, I'm trying to share information to help other people to understand that, like, these people actually do exist. And I feel like if people are already somewhat superficial, if they're already somewhat superficial, surface level, they don't give much of their heart, they don't expect much in their heart, they're not really going to get the concept of narcissism. And I know that's already happened. Like, you're going to irritate people for even talking about it. And it's not fixating on the negative. It's just like, oh, this is like a serious emotional issue that people have. That's why I'm addressing it. So victimhood, I don't know, it's being aware of energy dynamics. And it's just so sad. It's like one of the nastiest feelings when you come into contact with that sacred love, deep love, and you're like, wait, this was all a con. Like, this is like an earth-shattering realization. Like, I've been through this not once, but multiple times now. Like, the feeling of betrayal, the feeling of being conned because they energetically cloak themselves. It's like this artificial love where it's like, wait, oh my God, how did I get fooled so badly? I thought this was real love, but they're actually skilled in the art of imitating love, like energetic shapeshifters. They're actually extremely gifted at what they do. They're extremely skilled. And you might even be very intuitive, very aware of energy dynamics. And they still fool you. And that's the mindfuck of it. They have to go to those lengths to hide that they're empty inside, and they need to consume your energy, like consume you. And if they don't have you, they'll move on to you. They'll move on to another person because it's not even that much depth involved. So that feeling of self-betrayal is like so deep and so nasty. And I feel like emotionally cold, numb people that are more at their surface are not going to get this. They're going to call it victimhood. They're going to say, oh, focus on the positive, manifest the positive reality, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, people's lives get seriously damaged, like, just for loving, for having a pure heart, for expecting the best in them, for wanting to not toss them in the trash, not give up on them right away. You're like, oh, there's something to fix here. There's something to, like, people can actually change. I believe in change and positive whatever. But in some cases, it's just not. It's just like they have a playbook and that's it. That's it. Like, they're shut off, closed like ice, like granite rock. Like, it's the weirdest con. And then getting over it, you almost have closure in the sense that you projected a whole reality onto them that wasn't there. They never even loved you in the first place. Like, their version of love is somewhat so shallow that you're like, it helps you get over it because you're like, oh, what even was it in the first place? Was it a fairy tale, a manipulation, a dream? What happened? I don't know.